I'm now Constantine. I'm the executive of King County, the 12th largest county in the United States. It is a big job to oversee the provision of infrastructure and services for 2.3 million people. But I have to say that we've put together a team, some of whom are here tonight, who are really performing at a very high level. We are working toward this ideal we set for ourselves to be the best run government. And that evidences itself in many ways, including the AAA bond ratings that we have achieved across the board and for many years that are saving the taxpayers money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars over time. But that is just one aspect of it. I want to talk a little bit about our COVID response, because that was an immediate response to a largely unforeseen emergency, but the same principles came into play. When COVID hit, it hit here in King County first. We had the first outbreak of the coronavirus. And we responded by centering science, our nation-leading public health team. And we followed their advice. We followed the science, we followed the experts, and we saved lives. We prevented infections across the length and breadth of this county. The New York Times 6 months ago said that if the nation had done what we did here, 300,000 people would not have perished but would be alive today across the nation. And since the vaccines have become available, we have continued to follow the science. We've continued to create the partnerships across the county with community-based organizations with very specific constituencies to make sure the vaccines are getting out to everyone, whether they're well connected to the healthcare system or not, whether they've been here for generations or just arrived this week. Everyone should have access. And it is a fact that we now have 88% of the people in King County having gotten at least their first vaccination. That has to be the highest indication. And the Chinese community specifically and the Asian American community more broadly has led the way. I think the rate for vaccination in the Asian community is upwards of 95% now. So remarkable record, and we're very fortunate. And that is allowing us to rebuild our economy. And I think that's a critical issue here, that having vaccines allows us to continue activities, to keep businesses going and growing, to keep hiring people, to have sporting events and arts events and gatherings, rather than having to go backward to the time when businesses were closed, having to go backward to the time when schools are closed. That is one reason why it's so imperative, yes, for your individual health, but also this is the way we're going to be able to prosper in what is a new era. So transportation was mentioned, and I'll just briefly touch on the grand opening of the North Gate light rail line just a week and a half ago, I guess it was. I've been working on that for a decade and a half, I guess, and there it is. And that is going to open up new possibilities for people living to the north, commuting from the north, going to the university. And it means that you no longer have to get stuck in traffic on the Chip Canal Bridge right there, which is often very, very slow. You know exactly when you'll be able to get to work, exactly when you'll be able to get to school. And that is going to be a great change for tens, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. But that is just the beginning, because now, because of the work we did to create Sound Transit 2 and then Sound Transit 3, when I was the chair of Sound Transit, we're going to be opening light rail in just a couple of years to Bellevue and Microsoft and all the way to downtown Redmond, and heading south to Des Moines and Federal Way, and north to Linwood. All of this is happening just the next few years. The region is going to transform dramatically. The opportunities for where housing can be, for where jobs can be, the real estate opportunities are going to grow exponentially. So it's an exciting moment to be part of this community. And it is an opportunity, again, for us to create more of that affordable housing that is one of the elements to helping us solve this homelessness problem. Now, King County has been a leader in buying the units that we need to get people off the streets, to keep them housed with services, and to get them moving forward again in their lives. And in addition to buying the hundreds and soon thousands of units, one of the exciting things we just announced was that we are hiring 400 people who have been homeless and unemployed, but who want to work to help clean up our parks, to help clean up our streets, to help put this region back together, and in doing so, to earn the money they need to get back on their feet, get the job counseling we provide to get a new job if they want it, and to move forward with their lives again, and to regain their dignity. And I'm so grateful to the people of King County for helping to make that possible. But really, I think the key to everything coming out of COVID is this economic story. What can we do to rebuild our regional economy? What can we do to keep it growing in a way that is healthy? What can we do to include more people in the remarkable economic story that we have seen here? I think there's enough jobs. I think there's enough opportunity. We need to connect people to education and to training. We need to remove whatever barriers they're finding in their own lives. But ultimately, unlike most other parts of the country, we have the chance to be a place where we can really fulfill that true north. That we are a welcoming community for every person, and a place where every person, if they want to work hard, has the opportunity to thrive. So thank you for being a part of this. I want to say again how grateful I am for everyone being here. Representative Valdez, it is an honor to have you here today. Deputy Mayor Mosley, the once current and possibly future Deputy Mayor, thank you for being here. I want to introduce to you, I have several staff people, campaign and official side here, but I want to introduce to you just one person, and that is the hardest working woman at King County, my Chief of Staff, April Putney here. You need to know her. So thank you. The food is arriving. Tony, I'm so honored by your remarkable help once again. Oh, and I want to introduce to you someone else. And right there. Woman has helped on the vaccine rollout that I talked about, helping lead our efforts within my office in King County. But in her spare time is running for the Seattle Port Commission. This is Hamdi Mahal. And now I've been promised a dinner, and I'm going to sit down and have it. Thank you.
For King County, Dow has becoming a great leader, and he has been. Just like the great king, he's not only a great warrior, leading our county to the level and the higher, but he's also expert with administrative, finance, economy, transportation. That's probably one of the accomplishments I can relate personally. And there are many others, including the recent pandemic. There's just so many things that as a leader at the county level, especially with the scale of King County in Washington, that we as residents look up to a leader like him. And he is the fourth generation actually in Washington State. So that's like ancient, right, for our Washington State. So he's a life resident in King County, and he has been an oldest neighbor with us. And for me, when I think of a great leader, among all the accomplishments he has done, most of you probably know more than myself, but I think a lot of it is about also personal level. How do you connect with each individual, as well as governing a whole county, and obviously a lot of influence to the state as well. But on a personal level, I can tell that even with my friends and myself, we really feel that we've been taken care of with our county government, the leadership under Dow. And personally, like the transportation, public transportation has been one of the most accomplished item even across the nation. We're very well recognized in terms of how well our public transportation is doing. And me and my friends are the personal beneficiary of that. During his administration, we can tell everything is working easier for us. We're more comfortable, things are more accessible, and we only have more confidence in him to lead us into the next term that he's running re-election for. And I hope every one of you here have some chance to hear from him, but also learn more from his website. And there's a lot of things just all around us that you can experience how well we are doing under his leadership. So I'm so honored to introduce him here today. And before that, I just want to acknowledge some of our really great friends who have always been supportive of our Chinese community, including our state representative, Javier.